Hey everybody, it's Darrell with the Back 40 broadcast. Always meeting you here on Wednesday to give you a nugget or a nudge, supporting you in creating your second half of life as your best half. This always comes after our newsletter comes out right at 10 o'clock. So if you're not getting that newsletter, just go to theback40.com, sign up to get that. You'll have a heads up on what we're going to be talking about. And before you leave today, make sure you grab your top 10 tips for a radical second half below. So today, I want to talk about what I call the uncertainly. Not uncertainty, the uncertainly. I like to play with words, and it's my show, so I can do that. But, this week kind of pondering and looking at, starting anything new, taking on any new venture or starting to move towards a dream or just to change a habit. There's a lot of tendency to not move forward on things because it's uncertain. It's unsure. And so we will, kind of look to see, unless I have all my ducks in a row and my I's dotted and my T's crossed, I won't move forward. And we want certainty. It's like the human condition wants certainty. And yet, nothing new, innovative, creative ever came out of certainty. And so I was playing with the words and, you can ask people if they feel confident about something, and it's certainly, well, what do we do with uncertainly? And you can ask people if they feel, secure about something they're taking on or what they're doing. And it's like, of course. But what about the off course? Because when we start something, we're not going to be on course. We're just starting. And as we gain momentum and as we, gain facility and understanding, a lot of times we're going to be off course instead of course. And so what I wanted to offer today is some elements. I have 4 elements for what I call your plea for the uncertainty. And you really want to be making a plea for the uncertainty. Here in the Back 40, we say that you have yet to do what you came here to do. And if that is the case, then there's going to be newness and there's going to be embracing newness. I mean, just look at us, a couple years ago, we had this idea, it's going to be coming out in a book. We already had the original book written 5 years ago. That shows, see, I'm speaking from experience here that, you can have a dream or an idea and it can sit for the longest time because of all of these tendencies for certainty and, courage to go into brave new worlds. But the point is that, the book was written in 2008, but it's very thick, very dense. And long story short, my partner and I got together a few years ago and started to write a curriculum around it. And when we first brought that curriculum to a course in 2015, excuse me, we were just wanting to see how it was going to land with people. Was this going to empower people? And the response and the testimonials was overwhelming, but we didn't go in with any certainty on that. We kind of went in with an intention, but no certainty and no expectations. If you even just take this broadcast, I mean, look, if you're seeing this for the first time, go back, scroll all the way back. You'll see months ago, these things were just kind of happening in impromptu studios. And, without any kind of script, without any kind of format. And there was a whole lot of, the uncertainty around it. There was nothing certain. And it's gone off course so many different times. And yet months later now, we're getting feedback that this contributes. This contributes to people. We even, a few months ago, started doing a Facebook Live at noon on our Back 40 Facebook page. And today, by the way, we're going to have an incredible interview of a Guinness Book of World Records holder, the oldest man that's ever summited the top summits, top peaks of the world. But anyhow, the whole point of that is is that we're trying new technologies. So many times we, blew it because we weren't knowing how the technology worked, or the technology was in beta test and it wasn't working. The point is no certainty. And yet now at noon Pacific time on Facebook, on our Back 40 page on Facebook, great interviews are taking place every Wednesday at noon, and people are getting a lot of value out of that. Point being is that's just some of our examples of moving into the uncertainty. What are yours? What are yours? What are the things that are the dreams or the new habits you want to pick up, or the new things you want to explore, that because there's not the certainty around it yet, you probably haven't taken action. If it was a for sure thing, you probably would have. So Robert Burns has a quote that said, "There's nothing so uncertain as the sure thing," which basically means if you wait around for certainty, you'll be waiting forever, because certainty is a mirage. It's a mirage. Therefore, if you're sure of something, you might want to question it. And for the things that you're not so sure about, maybe those are the things, where some doubt exists. That's where there is to play. And so I've got 4 elements today in what I call your plea for the uncertainty, which is, again, what you want. And again, we're just playing with this here, folks. We look at what we're doing and we put it down in words and we contribute it ideally so that all of us are creating our second half as our best half and continuing in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s to grow and expand versus to stay stuck in what we think we already know or our limitations and all of that. So the first element is pick. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, pick something. Just pick something to play with in this little experiment. Maybe it's something that you've been wanting to take on that you can say you haven't found the time for it yet, but I would ask you to look below that and look to see if there's some questions of your ability or how you're going to look, or, other limiting beliefs that have you not moving forward on that. Is it taking salsa classes? Is it writing a book? Is it exploring a career change? Is it a fitness regime? So the point being is pick something. Just pick something and let's play with it. And I'm going to say play with it for the next 3 months. I won't stick you to 4 months yet, okay? But lock yourself in. Lock yourself into some routine around whatever you're picking. And again, if it had been assured, you would have probably already taken action on it. So schedule something. Is it signing up for a 3-month salsa class? Is it scheduling yourself to be 2 hours a week in the library, researching some subject that you've been telling yourself you don't know enough about, and therefore you haven't taken any action to move on it? Is it sending out 5 query letters a week to people who are in fields that you really want to know more about? I'm not saying you're looking for a job, but what I'm saying is, do you want to know more about something? But take on a schedule, lock yourself into it for the next 3 months with regular times that you're going to put into it. And here's the big kicker: tell a buddy. Tell a buddy about this and ask them to be your wall and to support you for the next 3 months to keep to your schedule, and give them the right that when you get halfway through and you're talking yourself out of it or whatever, that they can beat you up. Just, tell them they can beat you up until you submit to sticking with your schedule. So lock yourself in. Number 3, endure. Just simply endure what you said you would do. Keep to the commitment, keep to the schedule. And when you hear the voice in your head, which will happen, expect it, telling you this is silly, this is stupid, I don't know how to do this, I'm no good at this is never going to work out, all the limiting beliefs that will come up, that have, kept you back already, just, hear them, let them fall on deaf ears, and just keep doing what you said you would do because you gave your word. Plus, your buddy's going to beat you up. And then lastly, at the end of the 3 months, assess. Just take a sober look and assess how far you are now, where you're at in that area of interest now. Do you have more facility with it? Do you have greater understanding of it? Is there even more certainty that you have now? Would you want to commit to another 3 months of this and get that buddy to, lock you in on that as well? But the point being is, so often we won't even start taking an action, much less stick with it enough. Literally 2 months ago, I was sitting here thinking, these Back 40 broadcasts, I don't know. It's like this technology, especially around the noon Facebook thing, because we're using beta technology and it was just like, the frustrations. And yet, right on the other side of that was the insight to, start interviewing people. And it's like, we've had some great guests on. We have more great guests. We have an awesome guest coming on today. And again, that's on the Back 40 Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/the Back 40 at noon Pacific time. Point being is, stick with things long enough. Your plea, so it's P, right? L, I know you knew this, but I'm just like to show it off anyhow because I like playing with words. E, A. Your plea is for your own courage and self-support to live the life that you want to live, that you will usually talk yourself out of. So hopefully these 4 elements of your plea for embracing the uncertainty will support you to take something on this week. And so look forward to you giving us feedback. Give us feedback on these broadcasts. We've already been getting some, in which we appreciate. But tell us what difference this makes. Email us at the Back 40. It's easy, Darrell at the Back 40. And let us know what's going on. Tell us what your 3-month game is. Go sign up on the Back 40 Facebook page and tell us what you're doing. And come back every Wednesday here for another nugget or a nudge. Make sure before you go, grab your top 10 tips for a radical second half. Have a radical week.